We're down in Saltons on a pretty cold November day, and in line with our new thinking, we're planning to go out for a trip on a rib, an open rib, to Lulworth Cove and back again to experience what the boat is all about. But unlike a conventional rib, this has a bit of a trick up its sleeve. Let me show you what it can do. As you'll have gathered by now, the boat we're on today is an amphibious rib. It's the Sealegs 9-metre Hydrasol. It's built in New Zealand. It's got an aluminium hull. We've got a conventional Yamaha 300 horsepower outboard on the back, and underneath the console itself we've got a Briggs & Stratton 33 horsepower petrol engine that drives the hydraulic wheels. You've got one big wheel at the front, two at the back, and they just fold down on hydraulics, and then it's hydraulics itself that turn the wheels and climb you up the beach. We've tested the amphibious capabilities well enough. We've just driven straight down the slipway at Saltons and out into the harbour, and now we're going to put it to use on the sea. We've got a run over to Lulworth Cove is the plan. It's late November, so there's no speed limit in the harbour, so when we're clear of the marina itself, we can put the hammer down and get going. Let's go for it. We've come out of the harbour, and to be honest, it's a lot rougher than we were expecting. There's been a strong easterly blowing for a while now, and it's built up some pretty big waves. You may be able to see the overfalls just off Old Harry here. There's absolutely big white horses, and we've bashed our way out here. The boat has been very capable. It's a really tough aluminium hull, and the extra length of the 9-metre means it takes the waves well. But to be honest, I'm not sure I'm really up for it. We're going to get absolutely bashed to pieces, particularly trying to come back from Lulworth when we're going to take it right on the nose. And we've already got fairly wet just coming through here. So although the boat is more than capable of it, and we've had a good play about with it, I'm not sure that I am. So we're going to head back into the harbour and see what we can find in Poole Harbour to do. We've come back into the harbour where, it has to be said, conditions are a lot nicer. So what we're going to try and do is find a suitable landing spot. I've had a word with somebody who owns one of the islands here, and we're going to crawl up onto the beach, onto one of the private islands, to give an idea of exactly the kind of thing that people use the Sealegs for. We fired up the engine, put the bow wheel down. We're just putting the stern wheel down now, and we're creeping in towards a little slipway. Stern wheel's just going down hydraulically. There we are. We're good to go now. Set the wheels rolling. Feels quite soft, doesn't it? I think we're on quite soft sand. We've touched the ground. We're creeping along now. There we are, we're up on land, all good. Ease it back, it's all off. And there we are, safe on land, feet still dry, not a problem. After a bit of practice, you get very used to driving it on land. It's not road legal, but it has got all-wheel drive, you've got a diff lock on it, You've just got this little throttle here, and you just use the same steering wheel that you do for the outboard engine. It all becomes very second nature. You can tootle along at 5 or 6 miles an hour for as long as the engine holds out, or as much petrol have you got, and it's just perfectly second nature. Because it's quite a long boat, there's quite a big gap between the wheels, so it's not quite as agile as the smaller one, but you've got the same lift on the legs, there's plenty of ground clearance, so you just keep an eye on both ends and drive away as you would any other car. It's that simple. We're now making our way back towards the slipway, and we're going to go straight back in the water, seamlessly fire up the outboard, raise the legs and power away on the water. Well, we never made it to Lulworth Cove in the end. It was simply too rough. With that strong easterly breeze and a wind against tide, we were just going to have a really uncomfortable time. There's nothing wrong with the boat. It coped with it absolutely fine through some big waves, frankly. But we were just going to get beaten up. So there was no point in doing that. We came back into the harbour, and instead we had a whole load of fun doing the kind of things that you simply couldn't do on any other boat. We snuck up some of the little narrow channels, and then we went back out into the main channel and had a really good play about. There's no speed limit at this time of year in Poole Harbour, so we really put the hull through a thorough test, and frankly it's extremely good. With that 300 horsepower Yamaha on the back, we got up to 38 knots flat out, and it coped with it just fine. We put it through some full turn locks. It coped really very well indeed. It gripped well, it didn't slam. That tough aluminium hull is very capable. And then finally, as a special bit of a treat for me really, I did something I've never done on any other boat before, which is to drive up Stony Island. It's a tiny little drying spit of land in the middle of the main channel on the way out of Poole Harbour. Tiny little stone island, literally, and we drove up it, surrounded completely by sea with just enough room for us to park on it. And I guess that's what this boat is all about, allowing you to do things that you just couldn't do in any other craft. And now we're back at Saltons. We're about to climb back up the slipway, and we've done this whole thing without getting our feet wet. Yes, it's a £200,000 rib, which is a lot for a boat, but it's not just any boat. It's an amphibious rib, and that for me is what the Sealegs 9-metre Hydrasol is all about, allowing you to do things that you just couldn't do in any other boat.